Peace be with you. Welcome to Living Flame Podcast website and Facebook group. Dear friends, Gospel reflections for Friday in the second week of Easter. Gospel taken from John chapter 6 verses 1 to 15. Jesus is at the Sea of Galilee and then goes to the other side of the sea that is called Tiberias. And large number of people come there to listen to Jesus because he had worked many of the wonders and miracles around that area. And he chose his disciples from that area too. Consequently, people were familiar with Jesus and they were expecting something to happen to them. We know the Galileans were very poor people. They were oppressed by the Romans. And listening to Jesus, maybe they were relieved. And here, large crowds come to listen to Jesus. And when Jesus saw these crowds, he had compassion on them. Now, he wanted to give them food. He knew what he was able to do. And then he asks Philip, "Shall we give them food?" And then Philip says, in worldly terms, 6 months' salary wouldn't be sufficient to provide food to all these people, even if they have to take a little food. And then there was Andrew, who was also thinking in earthly terms. He says, here there is a boy who has 5 barley loaves and 2 fish. And what is this among such a big crowd? But then Jesus asks them to sit and works this wonderful miracle after giving thanks to God. Dear friends, this is a very powerful gospel passage to understand the mystery of the Holy Eucharist and God's kingdom. You know, when we think of God's kingdom as Jesus came into this world to proclaim God's kingdom, we need to very clearly understand God's kingdom is not food and drink. But then the power of God is so clear that God is able to provide food too. In today's world, we find there are millions and millions of people who suffer without food and without shelter. But then, if we can open our hearts to God's kingdom, and that is, all people have to open their hearts to God's kingdom, then there will be enough and more bread here on earth. That's why this miracle reflects in 2 ways. That is, providing food to all those people, to that large crowd present there, and then collecting 12 baskets full of the remaining bread. Jesus very clearly said, nothing should be lost. Even if we save the food, which we normally waste, that can provide food to so many people. And then, if we can really share, as the first Christians did, they sold their belongings, most probably that was extra in their life, and brought the proceeds and laid at the feet of the apostles. And they were happy to share whatever they had. So they also got approval of those people who did not believe in the society. All those people were appreciated. Providing food, God provided food to the Israelites in the desert. God can provide food to all of us in a miraculous way. But most importantly, God is providing us with the Eucharistic bread that strengthens us, and then when we are strengthened from within to share whatever we have with those people who do not have enough food and shelter. This is a great message to all of us as we are meditating the Spirit of the Lord coming upon us and helping us to liberate the oppressed, give sight to the blind, and food to the hungry, and clothing to the naked. Let this message enter into our hearts, and today we continue to meditate and do God's will, that is, spreading God's kingdom around us with that joy and happiness that springs from within through the Spirit of the Lord. God bless you.